Hello all, welcome back to the channel. My name is Patrice. I am a singer-songwriter and voice coach for over 2 decades now. So I've seen some things and my mission here is to be able to help you straight shoot your success. So today, what do I want to go over? Well, this is something that comes up a lot with singers, and that is vocal placement. I would say it's probably the main objective or thing that different vocal coaches are trying to obtain, right? If we look at like what is it that people want to obtain, it is vocal placement. So I'm going to dive in now. What is vocal placement? How do we master that? Stay with me and I'll break it down. All right, all, so what is vocal placement? Let me break down what that is. In the simplest form, it is where sound is going. And so, or where you hear that voice sitting, right? So what I tell my artists is there's 4 basic places that I can hear a singer is singing from, or you might be able to feel you're singing from. Number 1, your throat. Not what we want, right? But I can tell when people or commonly a lot of times I'll hear it in the higher range. People feel like, oh, I'm really tight. I really feel it in my throat, and you just don't want that. But you could be singing your throat, the middle of the mouth. I call it shallow singing. And this is different than your Billie Eilish kind of, where it is still nice and forward, but it has that kind of like muddled, breathy kind of sound to it. A lot of people will start when they hear that kind of singer to want to sing here, and it's tricky because it doesn't really hurt, but it's shallow and it doesn't sound really rich or forward, or it just is a weird spot. I'll hear a lot of people, especially those in choruses, say that, you know, they were taught to kind of sing through here. I get that in the sense of where their chorus teacher is coming from. It is softer, and therefore it blends better, right? So they're going to tell you now, as a solo singer, as really developing your voice, we really want that sound forward. So we don't want that sound kind of sitting, right? It tends to lead us into a lot of problems. And I will say that with my chorus people, they tend to struggle at times really finding their placement because they're so used to just kind of singing up. Also, they'll tend to resort more into the nasal, which brings me to the next one, which is that nasal placement. Oh, babe, right? I just have to do that. And here again, I think if it's part of your natural voice, you can hear it sometimes in the country realm of things that it can work, but really where I work with my artists is nice forward placement. So we have nice and forward. So you have your throat, you have the middle of your mouth, you have your nose, and you have forward. So that is what placement is, where sound is going. Now, how do we master getting that nice forward placement? Well, there's a few things to keep in mind, right? First, obviously, technique, right? We want to be doing the proper things. I always say singing is like a machine. There's multiple pieces moving together that help to create that end product, right? Think about that chocolate bar, Hershey chocolate bar being made, right? The chocolate's put into a place that it melts, it comes through the chutes, into the molds, it gets frozen, and it gets packaged, right? Any part of that process is out, you're only going to get half a product, or you're really not getting the best product, right? So with us singers, we're thinking breathing, we're thinking how we're shaping our mouth, right? Keeping that internal space there. We're thinking our tongue, we're thinking how we're molding the front of our mouth, right? There are multiple different pieces working together, and you can watch other videos on that. That help to really get us that nice sound forward. So a huge aspect, obviously, is our technique. And so the other piece of it that probably might not always be talked about is your own mental visualization. I feel like there's so many different pieces that really help with the technique. And that's you really kind of thinking nice and forward. People are like, oh, I'm doing this here, but like, and I'm like, think about that sound coming out of you, right? And now this can run into a problem. Sometimes people, if you just think, you can almost see where a problem could be on either end. Someone's just so in their head and they're only thinking technique, their likelihood of getting there is a lot more than if someone doesn't. But, you know, they might not be given enough support, or they might, you know, fall a little short, say. But I'll find sometimes with the mindset type thing is if someone doesn't have technique and they might over push to kind of compensate, like, oh, I know I want that sound out, right? But they're not opening up enough, or doing that kind of stuff to get that sound where it really needs to go. The last one is play, right? You don't know till you really play, you experiment, you try different things. Try that, and that's where I'll leave you, is try that exercise. I'll always have in my program, part of one of the exercises is try and put these sounds in these different places to just become really familiar with it. And if you want more tips, tricks, or you want a personalized understanding of your voice, shoot us a message, comment below. We offer here at the studio, offer a free consultation. This way people can really get that one-on-one attention. But if this did help you, be sure to subscribe, comment. When I know it helps you, it helps me. It's a win-win on both ends. But thank you, and as always, onward and upward.